That's the name.
Primetime.
Primetime.
What time is it? Showtime Primetime.
It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
No, that's exactly what Todd Golden is saying. That's what Kelvin Sampson is saying. These two coaches ready for a battle royale in the city of San Antonio. Florida v. Houston. Gators taking on Cougars. It's just going to be a scene tonight in San Antonio. Welcome into a Mocama Beer Company Monday. So jacked up, coming out of the Final Four, getting ready for the national championship game. I love college basketball. You guys know that. But anybody who has been following this Final Four with 4 number 1 seeds going, with the way Sweet 16 seeds stacked up, the lowest of the bunch was a 10-seed Arkansas. We have seen nothing but big boy basketball for the last couple of weekends, from 16 down to 4 down to the Natty, and looking forward to it tonight. I tell you what, when you guys looked at this Sweet 16, did you think we were going to get it? We still saw some blowouts.
Yeah,
There's no question about it.
I was the one among us 4 that said ones all the way.
Well, you should have put your bracket in the office bracket. You would have won, man, because
I
you
don't
did
trust
say
you
it.
guys, man.
Well,
What are you talking about?
Well, it doesn't-
Are you saying you don't
Any
trust
bracket that Jack O'Brien wins is not real, okay?
well,
Are you
well,
saying you don't trust Taylor Dahl running?
No, I
the
trust
bracket?
TD implicitly. I don't trust Jack O'Brien.
here's the thing. Then your prediction doesn't exist if we don't have any copy of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's on radio.
You sure?
Yeah.
JJ, lose that. If
Yeah.
you find
Yeah, I
it.
don't remember listening to all his picks.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, we did hear the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to put that. You got to put that in there, and that one you could have collected some cash off of that, because everyone was trying. I was trying to deviate from the ones. I just thought you're going to have some carnage somewhere. My 2 crazy picks were Gonzaga and BYU.
Right.
Those were the 2 that I thought might be able to cause some problems for some people. And actually, I did pick Alabama over Duke as well, making it into the Final Four. They got blown out. That did not happen.
Well, I mean, they were the 4 best teams,
Yeah.
and it was like them 4 way up here, and everybody else way down here. There was a big gulf between the first 4 and the rest of the field.
It's the death of the glass slipper, but I will look forward to Sweet 16 basketball, or just NCAA tournament basketball in general from this point on. I think really from 16 down to 1, it's going to really be good,
Well,
I think.
That's what I was looking at from 16 down to 1. I was looking at the 2 locomotives that were going to clash. I was looking at Duke and I was looking at Florida. I thought they were the 2 best teams in the tournament at that particular time. And one got derailed.
Yeah.
And
You
which
better
makes
believe
this championship even more compelling.
Yeah.
Because Houston, the way they came back against Duke, I mean, defensively, they get after it. They're scrappy. And they're a veteran-savvy group. And you could tell in that game they're
old guys.
They're old guys, absolutely.
Which is huge in this day and age.
Because
Young
Duke, when they
teams.
were up 67-61, it was a lot of looking around. It was one team looking around because they thought the game was over, and it was a lot of other guys going after loose balls, making dunks, shooting threes, defending well. Yeah. That's what I saw in that game.
It was enormous. So you guys hit the text line, Design by Lifetime Enclosures. Most of you are football fans. That's what drives your sport's heartbeat. But at the same time, did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? It was compelling. I thought it was just great theater to see what Houston represents, and it looks like they're a dull knife in the drawer. They're not necessarily cutting your heart out easily, but they're just slowly taking things away from you, and they did it 100% over the last 10 and a half minutes of that game. So what do you like about it? There got to be plenty of Gator fans out there right now thinking about it, that you're going to be cutting down the nets. What gets you to climb that ladder tonight, or what keeps you from climbing that ladder to cut down the nets tonight? 641-1010. You guys hit the text line, Designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can jump in the YouTube chat. And do you think this is Todd Golden's coronation or Kelvin Sampson's coronation? Because he's trying to become the oldest national championship winning head coach. So we will definitely dig into that. A quick though, as we get our show rolling today.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, this is way off the topic, but certainly worth note. The Jaguars have officially exercised the 5th-year option on Trayvon Walker.
And
Which
so
is intriguing.
Yeah. Well, it is, but I also feel like put it to you this way. When you go back and you think of them easily taking Travis Etienne's fifth-year option and picking it up last year as the 25th pick in the draft, a little more affordable. And if they had to do it all over again, would they have done it? I don't know. But in this case, they need to make sure that they maximize the potential of this guy, especially with the change of regime. So that is
I kind of see it as, okay, so you're going to sign a huge second contract for your quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to sign a huge second contract for your cornerback, but your edge, you're not going to sign to a huge second. And I know they still can, okay? But I'm just saying this gives them the option to not have to worry about it.
Yeah, this is year 3 of a 5-year deal where the offseason after year 3 of a 5-year deal where you get the luxury of deciding on whether or not to pick up the option. And then you don't have to hand him a contract just yet, but at least he knows he's going to.
You don't, but is that not if you're a player, Leon, do you not see that and think, all right, so I'm going to bet on me now?
Yeah, of course. You're going to bet on you because right now, I'll guarantee you, Trayvon Walker's agent is talking to the Jaguars right now. Want to close the deal right now, even though he's got 2 years left.
Yeah.
This is the Jaguars saying in good grace, hey, listen, we're going to get the deal done and make it happen. But this is Trayvon Walker saying, well, I got to bet on me again. But do you see this franchise having two $130 million bookends? That's what I'm saying. That's not going to happen.
And I'll never forget
One of those
this.
dudes got to go.
I'll never forget this. Big Sur said it many moons ago.
5 years ago, yeah.
With the Ngakoue and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
He said they ain't giving
There was
out.
3 of them that wanted it, right?
Well, at least those are the 2.
Who were the 3 back then? It was Ngakoue, Jalen Ramsey.
I think it was just Ngakoue and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I thought there was a third one.
No, it was those 2.
Yeah, Ngakoue wanted north of 20. He wanted $20 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, those numbers, if we're going back to 19 or 20, those numbers seem small now. But anyway, that's what he wanted. And Jalen was expecting a $100 million contract. And you said it then.
I said there's no way here in Jacksonville that Jalen Ramsey was getting $100 million contract. Not that he wasn't deserving.
2 $100 million.
Or 2 $100 million contracts. That's not going to happen.
And so then you get to this one now where you have 2 $100 million guys on the defensive line alone. I don't know. It is a different world that we're living in right now, but they can't, based on change, they can't give up on him right now. They can't. They have to try and get as much out of him off of that rookie contract as they possibly can.
Yeah, because they still got they still got the opportunity to franchise.
Yeah, they can tag him.
Yeah, they can tag him once, twice, 3 times a baby.
All right, so there you go. A little Trayvon Walker news. They did pick up the option. It's something that I believe, if I look at the NFL calendar, it didn't really have to do it until May.
No.
So it's kind of interesting that they are going ahead and making that decision. It's announcing, I guess, in some ways, announcing what they want to send off to the Jaguar fan base as hope and future.
Well, I mean, of course they were picking it up. I mean, of course they were picking it up.
Yeah.
You're not going to not pick up an option on a guy that's had back-to-back 10.5 seasons.
I just meant
my point is
that they didn't wait.
Yeah, I almost think it's almost like a little shot across the bow. Actually,
Yeah, I wonder if the Jaguars use this as a tactical measure. Maybe Trayvon Walker's agent said, "We're gonna get a deal done. We're not coming."
Right.
You know, and that could happen.
Well, today's the day when everything gets rolling as far as the off-season workouts. They get to start everything 2 weeks early compared to the other ones because of the new coaching hire, a brand new coach, a first-time head coach, all that stuff. And so, yeah, this is when they start coming back in the building.
Well, I mean, yeah, especially when you got a brand new coach. The last thing you want is your first overall pick not showing up to camp. I mean, because you know they're going through, they're negotiating the contract right now as we speak. And this might be a tactical way of Jaguars say, hey, look, you know, all bets aside, we're going to get this deal done. We're picking up your 5th-year option.
Right. All right. Definitely interesting. You guys let us know on that one as well. Trayvon Walker's 5th-year option picked up. Not a shock, but what type of storyline or thread can you take the news and maybe play with it a little bit? We got to talk draft. We are counting it down. We're just outside of a couple of weeks away from that number 5 pick overall. If the Jags stay in that 5th spot, what they will do. You got all the other chatter surrounding the first 4 picks. And then after Jacksonville selects 5th, what else is still going to be out there and what can they do in terms of the first night maybe trading back in. All kinds of possibilities as far as that goes. Mocama Beer Company, they are right there in beautiful Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street. They got that old 1950s car dealership that they turned into a beautiful tap room. Coffee every single day. Delicious craft beer Tuesday through Sunday. And don't forget about their Wildlight location. And I walked into Publix the other day, and I saw me some delicious Mocama all ready to purchase off the shelf. So drop on by and look for Mocama, Total, ABC, Publix, wherever you were picking up some delicious craft. So let's go to Florida and Walt Clayton and what he was able to do in the second half of this ball game. Let's at least start there before we get to the Duke unraveling over the last 10 and a half minutes. What Florida was able to do in the second half of this game against Auburn, a team they know very, very well. Janai Broome was getting off early as far as what he was able to do physically in the paint, started strong, hitting 50% of his shots, forcing Alex Condon and a couple of others into some basically desperate fouls. And then you go in the locker room and you think Auburn's got the upper hand here. Florida's trailing in this ball game. And, Matt, they were able to turn they were able to flip a switch and turn things around dramatically, basically in the first half of the second half.
I mean, this is their tournament MO right now. This is the way they're playing. They're struggling in the first half because they don't control the ball. They still haven't learned now after 5 games that every possession is like gold in the NCAA
They'll
tournament.
learn a valuable lesson if they don't against
right, and
this team.
This is where it ends against this team.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and I think at some point you have to look at it this way because they keep, quote-unquote, playing with fire. Since March 1st, this is what Florida's done. Every game has been a win. They have not lost since March 1st, okay? They beat number 12 Texas A&M by 19, number 7 Alabama at Alabama by 5, Ole Miss, which went to the Sweet 16 by 19, Missouri in the SEC tournament by 14, Alabama in the SEC tournament by 22. Alabama was number 5 then. Number 8, Tennessee in the SEC tournament by 9. Then they beat Norfolk State by
Name the number. Yeah.
Name the number. Then they beat 2-time defending national champ UConn by 2. Then they beat the 4-seed Maryland by 16, the 3-seed Texas Tech by 5, and the 1-seed Auburn by 6. This is who they are. They struggle early, they close late. You get guys like Hawk, like Clayton. Clayton is, by the way, I got a great little bet you didn't know. You ready for this? Who's the last guy to score at least 30 points in the Elite Eight and the national semifinal? Back to back.
It's impressive.
The elite, what?
Do you know it?
Yeah.
The last player in NCAA history to score at least 30 points in the Elite Eight and the national semifinal. So back-to-back games.
Kimball Walker.
No. JJ?
Carmelo Anthony.
You all going to have to go all the way back to 1979.
Magic.
Larry Bird. Larry Legend.
First of all, it's Larry Legend. Thank you. That's Larry Legend. Absolutely.
It's hard to believe that's how far back you have to go.
79?
79, bro.
Wow.
And what he is doing, because he basically has gone into a takeover situation in the second half of these ball games. And the game he had, when you go back and look at his percentage of shooting, he definitely has turned up the wick here. He's eliminated mistakes, at least for the most part, and he is scoring at will.
Isn't that today the most watched college basketball championship of all time?
Still, yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bird versus Magic.
Wow. Yeah. What they were.
I watched it. I remember watching it.
Yeah. The thing with Clayton, though, you know what's interesting is he's fearless, man. He's not just a three-point shooter. He's fearless on the dribble drive. That's number one.
Well,
number 2,
sacrifices his body driving to the lane.
He's that 1-3 he hit in the corner where he took the ball, started his jump shot, and midair adjusted his entire body and shot it and hit it. I was like, right then when he hit that shot, I was like, this looks like Kemba Walker from UConn, where he just basically took them the entire way.
But let's not forget that Kemba Walker all of a sudden became an unbelievable shooter in the tournament, whereas he wasn't necessarily. He was more of the floor general as the season unfolded that year.
But my point is, he was dominant in that tournament.
Yeah.
No one could stop him.
Oh yeah,
which is basically what Clayton is right now.
Yeah.
So turnovers. Are you concerned?
Yeah.
Had a lot of turnovers in the last game.
I don't think
last couple of games, bro.
Yeah, and they seemingly cleaned them up in the second half, but they also had a couple of those mistakes like you're talking about. They had this little run to begin the second half, went on a 9-0 run when they came in trailing by 7 to start the second half, had a couple of silly turnovers, and then also a couple of really easy buckets that they missed or mishandled the handle on the ball. for an out of bounds. And so, yeah, they 100% have to clean that.
So who do you think, I mean, when it comes to Florida and Houston playing, who, as far as pace goes, do you think Florida is more?
Florida's, all right, let's say,
half court,
down the court.
Or do they like to run?
Florida wants to go up and down the court.
That's what I thought.
And Houston
Whoever
wants to go half court.
That's what I was thinking. Whoever can dictate pace in the game,
Right.
I think has
100%.
the upper hand because Florida wants to run.
Yeah.
And Houston wants the half court set. So I think whoever can dictate pace in this game tonight is going to determine.
So let's hold that. Let's use that as a little breakdown coming up here in just a second. Mark Wise, Mondays in March with Mark. We'll have him in about 30 minutes time, which he'll break it down from the Atlanta airport. And so we'll get into everything. But you guys let us know what you're feeling, what you're thinking as far as the game tonight goes. 641-1010 on a Mocama Beer Company Monday.
Here come the Gators.
Fires for three. Good, good, good.
This is the NCAA National Championship game.
Bang! Got it off the catch.
Pre-game coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on your home for Florida basketball. 1010XL.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time, if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread, carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset how you see food. Yeah, that carb craving we've all accepted as normal, that's gone. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts down that bread basket at the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. A clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
With the old, in with the organized. Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. Freshen up your home this spring with a custom organization solution. For a limited time, take advantage of our spring special and enjoy exclusive savings on closets, garages, home offices, and more. That's 40% off with an additional 15% off with 12-month special financing through April. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation with Closets by Design.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today. 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
It's ET here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com, COYLE, jacks.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball is home this week at the newly renovated 5-Star Ballpark. Homestand starts tomorrow and includes a day game on Wednesday, Coors Light Thirsty Thursday, plus fireworks on Friday and Saturday. Baseball all weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
Enjoy a great day of golf and support Eagles View Academy Athletics. Friday, May 2nd at the newly renovated Bent Creek Golf Course. 8:30 shotgun start, best ball format. Find out more at evawarriorsathletics.com.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind. Brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville. The big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend? The Gators need one more.
Now he's knocked away by Chinyelu. Pettiford never got the shot off. Martin. Martin with a signature slam. Sent it in. Big fella. What a challenge at the rim.
College refs.
No good. Flag got his hand on it. Oh, flag over the top. It is. And now it's going to be 1-1 for Houston with 19.6 to play. Get it in. Knipple. 15 seconds left. Now it's flag. Makes his move. Flag. Back in. Flag. Short. Rebounded by Houston.
The Braves are a catastrophe.
Mervis still looking for his first extra base hit in a Marlins uniform. First pitch, Mervis crushes out to right. Kelnick is back. He's looking up, and it's into the chop house and gone. Matt Mervis with the tone setter in the first. A 2-run homer, and the Marlins up 2-0 right away.
Luka embarrasses Oklahoma City.
As Doncic wanted to get the switch. Get Dort off of him. Fires away. Doncic has got another 3. That's his 5th here in this first half. Goes behind his head. Another open 3 and another made 3 for the Lakers as they just keep draining them here in the first half.
That was some great stuff over the weekend. JJ, he usually gets in touch with the Cyber, with the Weekend Rewind, the Cyber Voice, and
I can appreciate that, JJ. I just have one question.
They were cruel to his Atlanta Braves.
No, we're obvious. For our hockey fans, we're saving something for a little later. So don't even ask.
Yeah. So no, I'm not gonna ask that. No, I'm asking like the actual voice.
Yeah.
Is there like a, I don't know, in all deference to our friends in Kentucky, like a Frankfort, Kentucky voice of someone saying somebody lit up somebody?
I don't know. These are actually...
Or a Cajun voice. It's always like English or Australian.
Well, he's got a preference.
Yeah, and these are people I actually know. This is not a computer-generated thing, and I do have a Cajun voice.
I'm glad you didn't have that Rafa Salafusa who never got past number 1.
Anyway. Cycles of
imagine if he was like calling people and wishing them happy birthday. Like you could sign up for it.
I'm imagining somebody from the Kentucky Hills doing the updates about the Braves finally getting their first win.
Braves were struggling just a bit. All right, so the Weekend Rewind brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville. If you had a lousy weekend, you'd like to rewind it and start over, just head on over. And here's the beautiful thing right now. They're on Atlantic near Regency, and you can also check out everything they got on their Facebook page. But the bottom line is we got beautiful weather, and they got Honda boats. They got Coach Pontoon boats. They got on-road, off-road, whatever you're looking for fun-wise, just drop on by Cycles of Jacksonville. So you do go back over those games, the final 4 games, and then a couple of other things. What Luka and the Lakers, LeBron, all of them, with 22 3-points made against Oklahoma City, Leon, that was significant. I'm not going to make too much of it because you can fool yourself into thinking, but that's a really, really good Oklahoma City team. LA had just been embarrassed by Golden State earlier in the week, and they go out and put that together. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, the Lakers are right now, what are they, the 3 seed? Right now, they're 3 seed in the West. I mean, the West has always been loaded, locked and loaded. It's gonna be a fun tournament for the as far as the West goes. I'm very interested because, of course, I'm a Lakers fan, and ever since we got Luka, LeBron, I want to see how far we can take this baby. I mean, it's not gonna be easy.
Well, that one was one to watch, and that was I don't know whether it's a statement that's being made and look out, but that one surprised me.
Yeah, a little surprised. Why Matt looks over here at us. You don't see the Lakers going anywhere?
No, I'm just saying. I'm sure if they don't go far, it'll be because LeBron got hurt or something.
Well, he is in his 40s, so that is possible.
Old. I mean, come on.
Sure it'll be that. Yeah.
It is possible.
Were you dunking in your 40s?
On 8-foot rims, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking. Make sure.
All right, 641-1010. You guys jump in. NCAA championship game tonight. Florida versus Houston. Let's get back to what Leon was asking. Just as far as the way one team wants to play it versus the other, there's no question. Houston wants to slow it down. They definitely are among the best in the land when it comes to making sure that every possession is important. No, I think they were second in terms of teams that played at the slowest pace, second in the country. So they want to limit possessions, play you half court, make sure they keep pushing you away from the paint, guard the perimeter, and try and be as physical as they can.
And listen, that's the reason why I was concerned about Florida as far as turnovers go, because Houston is so good at their half court sets and they defend so well, even the perimeter and in the paint as far as rebounds, offensive, defensive rebounds. That's why it's essential that you take care of the ball. You can't because this team right here, it feeds off of steals. It feeds off of steals and transition and scoring points. So it's very important that Florida, you can't have 16, 14 turnovers against a team like this because they'll make it count against you.
Not only that.
They make you
They make you pay.
They play a really good defense. They shoot the ball well. So in their last 3 games, the Purdue game was a phenomenal game. Purdue almost won that game.
That was their closest.
They had 9 threes that game, Houston. They beat Tennessee. They had 8 threes. They beat Duke. They had 10. So it's not only that they're turning you over, but they're turning you over and they're hitting big shots off turnovers.
Well, the other thing that really surprised me the other night, 18 offensive rebounds from Houston. Okay, Florida cleans the glass as well as anybody, especially when it comes to offense and second chance opportunities. But Houston is going to be tough inside, and those are grown men, okay? You've got Pulp Fiction down low, okay, one of their cats. You have got one of the sharpshooters, even though he didn't have necessarily a great shooting night, the other night, he did hit the most timely threes down the stretch, Emmanuel Sharp, and then L.J. Cryer. Just take a look. He played every minute of that basketball game, and when they needed him, he was there. So you have a lot of experience. The average age of Houston was much older than where Florida finds themselves right now.
And you could tell that. You could tell the difference down the stretch when Duke was up 67-61, and they shot the 3. Then the inbound steal dunk. Then they went down. They missed a 1-and-1. Then they come back and get fouled. They shoot their and they just defend well. And every loose ball they're going after.
Yeah.
And Duke was standing around like the game was over.
Yeah, and they expected Cooper Flagg to be the star and finish it for them or whatever. But just imagine, in what world can you put this in any of your football playing career at University of Miami or in the NFL? This team held a juggernaut. Everyone thought Duke was unstoppable. Look at the points they scored in the NCAA tournament before they faced Houston Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And they went 10.5 minutes of live basketball scoring one field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a three-pointer from Cooper Flagg. And, heck, I even went back and we looked at the moment. It was 10:38. They got a defensive rebound, got down the floor. I think Flagg had just a little layup, and then it was right there. 10.5 minutes. From that point on, one field goal made, and it was a three-point.
Well, listen. All you can ask is that if your AP Player of the Year has an opportunity in the paint to shoot a 12-footer, it should go in. Right? But it should go in.
So.
You would think it would go in. And that over the back was more under the arm.
Mm-hmm.
It was a terrible call.
It was a terrible call.
It was
called, though. It was called. He was under the arm. He didn't go over top of his body.
Yeah, it's an easy call to make.
No.
Terrible call.
No, Joe.
Listen,
no, Joe.
Listen.
No.
This is all based on my bet, okay?
I know it is, and I get it's all about the degen in you, but that was a horrific call.
Okay, but here's the bottom line. You could call it, you could not call it. It can be called. That's all I'm saying.
And yes, it was called. So yes, you are right about that.
It was called, and it was the key to the game. So,
and I still, oh my gosh. The key to the game, this is where you guys fall into a big old trap. The key to the game is 10.5 minutes with one field goal.
Yeah, that's
okay.
right.
That is the key to the game.
Well, sure it is. There's no doubt about that.
Okay. They were up by 14 with 8 to play. They were up by 7 with 72 seconds to play.
Right, but that doesn't – I agree with all of that. That doesn't eliminate a horrible call that put Houston on the line to win the game.
I totally agree it does not. But how about figuring out how to inbound the ball?
Yeah, that's why people don't feel sorry for Duke. First of all, it's Duke.
Exactly.
And then second of all, they blew it.
I totally get
with
all
the
of
help
that.
of one of the worst calls I've ever seen.
It was just it was terrible, that call.
Yeah. I have
and
no
he
problem
basically
with
just
it.
said, go take 2 shots, standing at the line, nice and free, everything's good.
Yeah.
Hit him and you win.
But I agree that it was a bad call, but Proctor had a chance to
Texas
make.
Tech had that chance.
72 seconds left. Proctor has a chance to make the front end of a one-on-one.
Yes.
That's what I just said. Yeah, he didn't make it
just like Texas Tech. Same thing.
Yeah. And so you can't – it's one thing to say you're up by 14 with 8 minutes to play. It's another thing to say you're up 7 with 72 seconds to play.
I get it. But, sometimes I think – and I think we're all guilty of this, myself including, that we allow the whole idea of, well, there's all these other plays in the game that would have worked. Don't focus on that one. But the one still happened.
Well,
the one bad call still happened.
Yeah,
so we kind of let the officials off the hook a little bit like that.
No, I don't think so. You guys, three out of 4 agree it was a terrible call. I say you could call it. That's really the only thing I'm saying because it landed on the right side for me. But to just take a look at some of the stuff that Janai Broome was getting away with in the game. And you were talking earlier about driving you crazy when you see the walk. Just take a look at what Janai Broome was getting away with in terms of fouling and walking.
He was shuffling at one point.
He would take 2 steps with every back down, no whistle. And they have come through really the last 2 weekends of ball, the refs have. Mm-hmm. They've let these guys, for the most part, play. Yeah. Pretty physical. But you can sit here. I just don't think you can isolate one play when a team gives up a 14-point lead or gives up a 7-point lead with just a minute 12 or a minute 12 left. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You certainly can't point to that. All right. So where are the keys tonight? Walt's Walt. We know that. But what else can happen with them? Let's get into it with Mark Wise coming up here in just a second. And Mokama Beer Company Monday. You guys let us know, 641-1010, what side you're on with the game tonight.
I have a very specific set of skills.
Who are you?
My name is 1010XL.
What?
Wait.
Good luck.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
Mia here, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone? Plus, right now, get zero down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Nick in here for Bow 9 Associates, where you'll find Jacksonville's most esteemed eye doctors at each of their locations. After being selected for one of the most competitive ophthalmology fellowships in the world, Dr. Frank Bowden is frequently called upon for his expert opinion. He is currently one of the few cornea and external disease specialists in the area and the founder of Bow 9. Visit Bow 9 Associates today and experience the difference. Bow 9 Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 7, 1963, at the age of 23, Jack Nicklaus won the Masters tournament, becoming the youngest golfer to do so with a 3-foot par putt on the final hole.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging? Spring is here, a time to renew. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, here to help you look and feel your best with minimal to no downtime. Rejuvenate your skin, strengthen your core, and sculpt your body with advanced face and body treatments designed to restore your youthful glow and confidence. Just in time for spring and summer. A healthier, more fit you starts now. Visit dermagnify.com and step into spring looking and feeling your best.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town. Setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Window World. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Walter Clayton, All-American. He played like the player of the year. How do you describe what you saw?
He is. I mean, he is. He obviously didn't win the award, but now I'm so proud of him and happy for him that everybody nationally is able to see what he's been doing for us all year. Best guard in the nation. There's not one player in all of America that you would rather have the ball in his hands with the game on the line.
Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
That was the Gators head coach Todd Golden on Walter Clayton Jr. And I'll tell you, as soon as I heard it come out of his mouth, you know what I thought? Tim Tebow speech. That sounded just like the Tim Tebow speech, did it not? You will never find a better guard in college basketball than Walter Clayton right now. Let's ask our man, Mark Wise. Mondays in March with Mark. He knows the Gators as well as anybody, and he's been all over the basketball map calling games this year, and he's in the Atlanta airport right now. Mark, welcome in. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, but I got to ask you, Joe, your very first reference is a football reference on Championship Monday?
I'm just telling you, I heard it.
Fair, it's a Timmy Tebow reference.
He channeled his inner Timmy Tebow. There was no getting away from that. You know I had to bring that up, Mark. But I said it earlier, and I think you can appreciate this because you do try and you try and drive the lane for us back to basketball smartly. And I enjoy this stretch in sports on my calendar as much as any other stretch. It's just crazy. Right. I can go from wild card weekend to the Super Bowl, of course, from the beginning of college football season, so on and so forth. But I loved the way the 16 teams made it, a lot of chalk, and then what we were treated to this weekend.
Well, Saturday was fabulous. Now, speaking of this time frame that you're talking about, I always wanted to be Jim Nance because he did 3 weeks in the NCAA tournament and then went right to the Masters.
That is pretty good.
Does it get any better than that?
That is pretty good.
So, yeah, Saturday was, everybody talks about Cinderella. The drama, the theater that went on in the two games on Saturday was spectacular. The level of play was spectacular. I think what gets lost in the Duke-Houston game because the way Duke lost the game in the last 8 minutes is how well Duke played up to that point and how well Houston just was able to hang around. There were 2 times in the game where Duke was up 14 in the second half, and both times Houston answered with a 3. Now, down the stretch, everybody saw the same thing I saw. There were about 10 things that happened down the stretch of that game that if any one of them had gone Duke's favor, they probably win the game.
Now, Mark, their styles and fights. You got Florida that wants to run up and down the court, and you got Houston that likes the half-court set. Whatever team dictates pace, do you think that'll be determining the outcome of the game?
Well, I don't know that you're going to dictate pace against Houston. That nobody else has done it all year, including Duke. They play a low possession game. I think there were 61 possessions in the Duke game the other day, and yet they were able to get 8 more shots. Why did they do that? Because they go to the offensive glass like none other. And 8 more shots doesn't seem like a whole lot, but when you throw that into a low possession equation, then those possessions get more magnified. I think they had 18 offensive rebounds, which surprised me that they were able to do that against Duke. I think if they get 18 rebounds against Florida, Florida's in real trouble tonight.
All right, so Mark, I was talking about this earlier, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Houston, I think everybody focuses on the fact that they're the best defensive team in the country. In the last 3 games against Purdue, Tennessee, and Duke, 3 heavyweight games, they've hit 29 threes. So they can shoot the ball, number one. And more important, and this I think is the most deadly thing of all, they turn you over, then get big shots off those turnovers. The momentum from that is brutal.
Yeah, they're what they are defensively is a mixture of Tennessee and Texas A&M, if SEC fans want to put it together, because they defend like Tennessee, hit the offensive glass like A&M. So throw those two together, and you kind of come up with a team that – and everybody has said this all season long, and I think I told you guys last week that the pathway to beating Duke was at the 3-point line, that Houston had to make 10 or more in the game, and they did make 10 at the end. This is Kelvin Sampson's best offensive team, so you know how I feel about that. For coaches that say, we got to defend and rebound, no, you don't. No, you don't. You've got to make shots. Houston won that game in part because of Duke's failures down the stretch, but they also had to make shots, and they did that.
We're talking with Mark Wise, Mondays in March with Mark as we get ready for this Natty tonight. To the point you guys are talking about, the 18 offensive rebounds that you mentioned, Mark, that Houston had over Duke, and they were able to turn it into 19 points. So their putbacks were effective. Even when you go to Emmanuel Sharp missing the three with the thunder dunk that followed. And those are the moments. And here's the other part, at least if I'm a Gator fan, I'm most concerned about, Mark, is the physical nature with which they play. They trucked a couple of big Duke post players down low and just knocked them to the ground. James should have, I don't know whether I'm sure he was evaluated for a concussion, but that was a nasty hit.
Again, you know what the moniker it really is for teams that are physical? When we say they play really physical, that just means they foul a lot. And so from that perspective, they get away with a lot. And that's kind of the way it's always been. I thought the Florida-Auburn game was as poorly officiated a Final Four game as I've seen in a long time. I hate to say this, but one of the keys will be, do we have a tight whistle tonight or not?
Yeah.
Because if Houston, they're not quite as deep as Florida is, and if they get a couple of key guys in foul trouble, that will alter them. I'm looking at here, if you guys want an equation tonight, I'm going to give you one.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the 3-point differential and the second chance points differential. You put those two together, and whoever wins that, I think, will win the game. Florida averages 10 made threes a game. They need to make 10. Houston, who's a better percentage shooting team, they don't shoot as many because of the low possession games, but they make 8 a game.
Yeah.
Because they're top 5 in the country. And we've all talked about the offensive rebounding of Houston. Well, last time I checked, Florida's a pretty good offensive rebounding team, too. I just don't think you're going to throw it inside. And, Chinyulu's baskets, for the most part, come off when the offense is executed well and they kind of dump it down to him. You don't throw it to him 10 times a game and ask him to score block to block. I think they probably need to eliminate that part of the offense with Condon tonight. I just don't think he's going to be able to match up physicality-wise in terms of doing that little jump hook. I don't know the last time he scored in the NCAA tournament when they threw it to him down low. So I think Florida has to have a great 3-point presence, not only in attempt, but makes as well.
Mark, speaking of Condon, we know he has the ankle. But like you said, he just hasn't looked like the same player that, frankly, in the last month of the regular season was crushing people. Like, he's not the same guy. Has he wilted a little bit, you think, in the moment?
I think he's probably wore down a little bit. I don't know how healthy the ankle is. We come to this every year talking about the ingredients to win it all, and one of them is you got to be healthy. I don't think Janai Broome was healthy the other day. Everybody talked about how he looked in the second half. In the first half, he saved all of his energy to play offense. Even if you go back and watch the game, look at the number of times he kind of walks up the floor or kind of soft jogs up the floor. And then in the second half, it became a complete walk-up. So you got to be healthy. And the good news for Florida is they can win games without Condon producing. It would be a lot easier if he had a 6-6 game tonight.
Yeah, one of our texters said Will Richards needs to come up big tonight. And he mentioned Condon as well, and I agree with that. He's a guy that he's not been mysteriously absent by any stretch, but there were a couple of big moments that he could have had the other night he just kind of missed out on.
Well, let me speak to the Will Richards thing. Mm-hmm. People are so focused on that sideline action that Florida runs with the bigs dribbling at you and coming around for a dribble handoff. Mm-hmm. If you are so focused on Will Richards, that means Walter Clayton has more room to operate. So I think that's one of those hidden things that, from an X and O perspective, Clayton's ability to get to the rim is in part because the defense is spread east to west.
All right, I want you to give me, if you do know anything about Carlin Hartman, associate head coach for Florida under Todd Golden. I know you've been close to the program for a long time, but this was his quote as they were trying to battle back against Auburn and talking about being in the huddle. They know I love him, but the bottom line, this was a win or go home scenario, and we were allowing them to dictate the terms. It went to the bigs. I cussed a lot and told each, they're challenging your manhood. It was unacceptable, and if we didn't turn it around, the game was going to get away. We had a choice to make.
Yeah, I think even the players gave him credit for the turnaround. Here's what I would say about that. You better not wait till the second half to find your physicality tonight.
You better
or else
believe
you'll be playing uphill in a low possession game. And, man, that is – if they get on top of you with the way that they play, it's just really difficult to come back. So, but, I've been on several other programs who've asked me to pick a winner. Here's what my answer is. I fully expect this to be a two-possession game with 5 minutes to go, one way or the other. Now, which team can play the best down the stretch?
Yeah, I like it. It's also the experience of an L.J. Cryer versus the experience of a Walt Clayton. Which one of those guys, right?
Yeah, I don't. It'll be really interesting if you want something to watch in the first segment. Watch what Houston does with Clayton, either coming off that Spain action that they run with the high pick and roll, or whether the help defenders are getting into gaps a little bit. Because I think one of the things that Clayton has weaved his way through this year is learning when to be the point guard and when to be the scoring guard. And if you do help out, then he's a willing passer. And that's when Richard I think gets his best three, when the ball comes from Clayton. So again, I come back to the same formula. I start with offense and the team that can win the 3-point differential, and then you mix in the second chance points. And I think that's where the two areas where I think the game will be won.
Gator fans are just texting left and right. They just want to know whether you feel good or you're worried. That's it. You don't need to name the winner.
There is no. First of all, there's no such thing as a bad outcome tonight for either team.
Says you.
I mean, I keep coming back to this. You've won 5 games in the NCAA tournament. The last time Florida went into the Final Four was 2014. Before that, they lost in 3 straight Elite 8. You know what question I keep getting asked all the time? What does Florida got to do to get over the hump? What hump are we talking about? I mean, you've won 3 games in the NCAA tournament to get to the Elite 8. So from that standpoint, from that kind of holistic standpoint, there's certainly I hate to say there's no loser tonight, and that sounds so trite.
Yeah.
Of course there will be, and for the winner, you go down in college basketball history. So that's how close you are. But I don't want fans to lose sight of how hard it is to win 2 or 3 games in the tournament, much less 6.
Right, but the former coach and you would give your left pinky for this game, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I was just making sure there. That's all, Mark.
I've told this story so many times. At the age of 24, I was on the staff at Purdue. Now I was another guy and myself. We were the 2 positions of what they have like 10 guys for now. The student assistant, the grad assistant, the player development, the video guy. I mean, you go down the list. We did it all. But at the age of 24, I had been in the NIT finals the year before. We went to the Final Four at Purdue. I thought I was going to do this for the rest of my life. And I never went back to the NCAA tournament. Wow. I think it was interesting to hear Kelvin Sampson and Bruce Pearl both talk about that this week, in the fact that they are returning to the Final Four, and you just don't know. You just don't know if you can get back there. So I think it's interesting. I think the matchups are interesting. I think the head coaching matchup is interesting. You kind of got a gritty, workmanlike team versus a very analytically driven team. I think it'll be fascinating.
It's going to be awesome tonight. We appreciate your time. Safe travels back, and we look forward to seeing who's getting up that ladder and cutting down the nets.
All right, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, Mark.
All right, Mark Wise. Mondays in March with Mark. He's our dude, and we will find out what side it goes for tonight. Gators or Cougars. And I know, Leon, who you're rooting for. I know who you're rooting for.
I'm not rooting for anybody.
Well,
I know I picked in my bracket.
But I do think there's something inside you that I do think I know who you're rooting for.
No. I love orange and blue to the death.
Okay,
Thanks, JJ.
I think that's what it. I'm just looking. I'm trying to read the tea leaves there on Big Sur. All right, quarterback whisperer coming up. We'll find out who he's rooting for tonight. A Mokama Beer Company Monday. It is a beautiful Monday right here on the First Coast.
Now, 1010XL takes you inside the program director's office with Dan and Jeff.
I don't like your style, your politics, or your sense of humor.
Mornings.
I don't like what you say or how you say it.
I think you're bluffing. On 1010XL.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Leon Searcy here. As a former athlete, I was used to eating big. And those habits are hard to break. I'll admit, I needed help controlling my appetite, losing weight. So I called Physician Guided Weight Loss in South Point. Their medical team is helping me shed pounds safely with a customized plan. And their firm pricing means same cost every month. Hey, summer's coming, and I'm getting my sexy back. You can too at Physician Guided Weight Loss in South Point. Visit pgweightloss.com.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Plumbing problem? AC acting up? Septic tank trouble? Don't waste time calling 3 different companies. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We offer plumbing, septic, and air conditioning services. Call 904-862-6769.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Zach Breyer. When my dad started in business in 1990, I wasn't even born yet.
That's true. And after 35 years and nearly 20,000 satisfied customers, we literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, or you're looking to transform your home with new flooring, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites, or better yet, do yourself a favor and stop by one of our showrooms on Phillips Highway to experience the Lifetime difference and receive 20% off your purchase.
Get to know positions and players. The 1010XL Ultimate Draft Guide is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools, the #1 pool builder in Jacksonville. Follow rankings and roundtables as the draft takes shape. Go to 1010XL.com/2025 draft guide to get yours.
1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. Be a Big.
Travis Hunter is an exciting two-way player whose world-class athleticism and ball skills help him shine on both sides of the field. Hunter is an instinctive, natural football player with a feel for making the biggest plays at the biggest times. Jacksonville would need to make a decision on where and how to play Hunter if they drafted him with the 5th pick, but he's capable of making a good number of winning plays as a future star, no matter the choice.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. HairForMe.com.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things home ownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
ET here, and it's time for the Taste of Golf at TPC Sawgrass, April 23rd. Join me for fine cuisine from chefs from the top golf clubs in our area. Craft cocktails, games, and unique auction items will be present. This is one of the most impactful charitable events in our area. Come network with a sophisticated audience who's passionate about golf and its values, while impacting the youth in our community. All proceeds benefit First Tee, North Florida. For tickets, go to tasteofgolf.com. Come on, somebody.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops. Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried EasyCater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're going to need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Lone Pronto. Over the weekend, the Jumbo Shrimp completed their 6-game series with the Worcester Red Sox, winning 10-6 on Saturday, then 3-2 yesterday to bump them to 6-3 on the season. They're off tonight before their 6-game series with the Charlotte Knights gets underway tomorrow at 7:05 for Woman in Sports Night. The Gator baseball team's struggles have continued into the weekend as they were swept by Vanderbilt, falling to 1-11 in SEC play. They now desperately will search for an answer as they've been dealing with injuries and minimum pitching depth all year. Ahead of their midweek matchup with Florida State tomorrow night at 7, as we bring that game to you on 1010 a.m. Looking ahead to the weekend for the Gators, as they desperately need a series win, they'll take on the Missouri Tigers at home. It's 89 degrees at 3:03. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
Our quarterback whisperer hanging out with us in the 3 o'clock hour. Denny Thompson steps into the studio. Denny, how you doing, bud?
I'm great, man. Ready for some good basketball. Well, for the first half of some good basketball.
I was going to say, you have to take a nap and then get ready for some good basketball.
Unfortunately, the 14-year-old Walker ain't going to let me do that. He's going to be locked in. He's fired up, man. Yeah.
Now, is he a diehard Hoops fan or a diehard Gator?
Just diehard Gator.
Okay, so he's all in.
Last couple of years been a struggle for him, man, with the Georgia and Florida State.
Yeah.
And all of our guys being there, but yeah, he's stayed true.
There was a good tweet from Scott Van Pelt, who's married to a Gator, and it showed the picture of the 3 kids either outside of the Alamo Dome or either before or after the game. Basically, Scott Van Pelt says, "I surrender." these kids are Gators, and they're with their mom. There's nothing I can do about it.
They're fun to watch too. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see tonight. 1-15. Whew. Crazy.
Well,
I mean, Clayton and who's 15? Elijah? Is it?
Yeah,
I
Elijah
don't watch a ton of basketball.
It's
you
so-
see those
That
two
dunk
cats
from
play.
Elijah Martin. That
He's
was
so
That was
explosive.
Jordan-esque, man. That thing was bad.
He is so explosive.
I was
Like,
sick.
It felt like his feet did not touch paint, did it, Leon? When he left the
It was.
The
It
wood.
was. It was powerful.
Yeah.
It was.
He's explosive and he's fearless. Like that dude, he don't care what's in front of him.
No.
Clayton's like, I mean, he's just fun to watch. Like I said, I don't pretend to be a basketball expert, but I enjoy watching Florida.
All right, so let's turn the quarterback whisperer at least into this one basketball topic and put it back into the football world. So there was a nice piece on CBS Sports that said Florida did not have a single top 100 prospect on their roster, but they have NBA caliber players. So you go back to Walter Clayton Jr. played at North Pike High School, quarterback, 3-star on the football field, unranked as a basketball player. Before we even get to any of the other numbers, what possesses a kid to have that in his DNA to ignore a 3-star ranking and offers to play college football and then go basketball?
Yeah, especially at his size. I mean, most people would walk away from
6'3"
basketball.
quarterback,
in a heartbeat because 6'3" is tiny in the NBA, but it's great size and he's obviously, you can tell, like he's such a fluid mover. I'm sure he was electric on a football field too.
Apparently he had a great arm.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell like that he looks like he looks like if like Bryce Young played basketball,
right?
You know what I mean, and was 6'3" in his size. I mean, it's just my best guess is he had somebody advising him that just knew what they were doing and said, "Hey, man, you're special in this."
Yeah, and so
forget these rankings, but you're special in this, and you're average of special in the other. So stick with basketball.
Right. You gave up hoop to become a football star. I'm trying to make a big storyline.
Oh yeah. Listen, I was the boys and girls. I get you 10 to 10 in the boys and girls club.
Yeah, he was awesome.
At least 10 to 10.
No assist.
No assist.
But can you just imagine?
That was like a black hole when that ball went inside you.
And he'll probably hack the crap out of you too, I'm sure. Good for a couple fouls.
Yeah. As Lamb used to say, he'd cross half court and yell, "Rebound!" because that ball was going up. But this is Andrew Ivins, director of football scouting for 24/7. Talking about Walter Clayton. He said he was a legit high school quarterback. He said he threw for 6,000 yards, ran for 4,000. And can you imagine? And he did not have offers pouring in from the basketball world. He had, anyway, ends up going to Iona, and we all know the rest is history. He comes to Florida from there.
That's unique because I mean, there's not many 6'3" guys that would choose basketball in that scenario. I mean, we see it more with baseball than quarterback. Is at some point a decision has to be made. Like Carson's a perfect example, was a 93 mile per hour thrower, I think, something like that, and was committed to Florida for baseball and eventually just said, "No, I'm going to put it down to play football."
And 6'5".
Yeah.
Coming off the mound.
Yeah. You rarely see it in basketball in quarterbacks, but he made the right decision.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to football real quick because this is an odd story that came across a couple days ago. Dane Brugler from The Athletic is reporting that Jalen Milroe has been invited to the NFL draft, which means there's a high probability of him being selected in the first round or high in the second round. One of those guys that kind of bleeds over and you feel bad for him. He ends up being like 36th pick or something.
Just to go back in the green room.
But Denny, I've watched him throw. Joe has, Leon has, JJ has. You clearly have been the QB guru. There's no chance he's a first-round guy, is he?
There's a chance. I don't think he's going to be, but there would be
one.
a chance because of his skill set. There's a chance that somebody looks at him way differently than everybody else or 2 or 3 teams and goes, okay, we can get, and I don't mean this literally, but we can get Jackson Dart every year.
Right.
But these guys that are explosive like this don't come around. Would I do it? No, I'm just answering the question.
Right, exactly.
There is a chance. Now, Malik Willis, who I love to death,
right,
was also invited to the draft. And he didn't go until
the third.
Yeah.
I believe it was third.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a little odd, but I wouldn't read too much into it.
Yeah, I was at the airport, and I saw his whole they were headed to New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they were confident that, he was going to go in the first couple of rounds or whatever, and he ended up going in the third. And listen, most of these guys want to go for the experience. I mean, Yeah, the first round is on Thursday. But most guys want to have that experience to be able to walk across stage, see the commissioner, hear that. I mean, because it's a cool thing. I didn't go.
Yeah.
Because the first round was the everything back then.
Well, y'all wasn't the whole draft in one day?
Yeah. Well, it was. I think it was continuous.
Yeah, it might have been Saturday, Sunday.
It might have been Saturday and Sunday.
I've often thought,
we had 12 rounds.
Why don't the NFL, if they're going to do this where they have 3 days of draft, why don't you have guys that you bring in that are going to get drafted in all 3 days instead of just the first round?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's just kind of cool to see. And it does open up that experience. I'm not saying that's what they're doing.
But they also bring guys, and they want to create the drama.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sports entertainment. So it's always guys that are left in the green room that they show with the family, and they looked embarrassed and all that kind of stuff.
Bro, you can't say Aaron Rodgers' name to me still without me picturing that lady vacuuming around his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
while they were vacuuming, Jacksonville was running to the podium to take Matt Jones. Okay.
You had to do that, didn't
you? Why? Okay, that's what they did.
Yeah. I mean, it's on.
Fortunately, you're not bitter. Fortunately.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable when you think about that. Yeah, they got a quarterback all right in the draft. Just so happened he was converting to wide receiver. All right, so take PFF numbers for what they're worth. And I'm gonna throw some at you, but just back to the Jalen Milroe conversation. Can you see a world, like you said, if someone falls in love with him, they might take him. Quarterbacks make you crazy, we always say. But what order would you put the first 3, 4, 5 guys in right now? No, we're going to put Cam Ward as the prohibitive number 1.
Yeah, Cam, Jackson, Shador, Quinn.
Okay.
And I don't really know from there. I think at that point, I'd put Jalen. I'd put Jalen after Quinn.
I was going to say,
because he's intriguing. Like where do
you put a Will
different.
Howard?
See, I think Kyle McCord's intriguing.
Kyle McCord is now. That's another one. Yeah. That's another one.
People love Shuck.
They do love Shuck.
I love Shuck.
People love some Shuck now. Yeah, I
love Shuck.
I love Shuck.
Yeah, I mean, but see, I think the point though is you get to Jackson, you get past Cam, and you get to Jackson, and number 2 through 8, you could just put them in a hat and draw them out.
Just a coin flip, just a good, bad, good, bad, good, bad.
Right, which could ultimately lead to teams thinking like that and going, well, we're not going to take.
But those first 3 are definitely going round 1 for you, right?
I don't say definitely. No, I don't say definitely.
Yeah.
So you think so? Okay, then here's the. Do you think Shador may fall out, or do you think Jackson Dart may fall out?
If I had to take a bet on one, I would bet on Jackson falling out. But I think there's an outside chance we could have only one taken in the first round.
It's wild.
Wow.
All right,
and I haven't. That's no intelligence. That's no inside information. That's just me looking at the way you grade these quarterbacks and the difference in number 2 and number 8 this year.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think you're wrong, especially when you hear these numbers. I'm just going to rattle off these names and numbers. But PFF, there's always a disclaimer whenever we say PFF. Love them or leave them. You can find information you like. You can find information you hate. But a couple of things to consider. There's chatter of Ashton Genty going high. That's a running back moving up. There's a 1 or 2 running backs that could go in the first round, meaning they'll take up a spot. Tight end, defensive tackle, offensive tackle. There's a lot of them that may go in the first round. But these are PFF numbers, Denny. Cam first, Shador second, then Jalen Milroe third. Their PFF big board rank is 101. I don't know what their exact numbers are. After that, it's Will Howard, then Riley Leonard, then Jackson Dart, before you get to Dylan Gabriel and Quinn Ewers.
Crazy.
And I'm like,
what? Yeah, that's crazy. But again, the point is like all of them are the same guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
really,
a lot of,
And one of them, statistically, or the odds are that one of them's going to have a great career and shock us all. And there's going to be people, I knew that. But on the surface right now, they all look similar to me.
So let me give you some numbers, okay? And I just want to get your opinion on this because I think you'll be like, yeah, that's the guy who he is. This is who Jalen Milroe is. Okay. Last 3 games of the season last year at Alabama, when they desperately needed him.
Because
they were trying to get to the playoff, all right? So the last 3, so the 2 games they were trying to get the playoff, and then the last game was against Michigan in the bowl game. So 3 games where they need him, okay? He completed 45 of 82 passes, which is 54%. Oh, it gets worse, Denny. Denny gave me this rolled eye. Wait to hear the rest of it, bro. For 612 yards with 1 touchdown and 9 turnovers. 9 in 3 games, Denny. 5 picks, 4 fumbles.
Yeah.
That's a lot, bro.
That's a lot.
Bro, that's everything.
That's a lot. Yeah. I'm not saying if you want to take one guy who's different than the rest of them, it's him. That's the only thing I'm saying.
That's your original thought.
That I'm not saying he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be a bad NFL quarterback, but he's different than the rest of them because he can do things that they can't do.
Yeah, but I think they're hoping he's Jordan Love. He's not close to Jordan Love.
I think they're hoping he's Jaden Daniels.
I think they think they're gonna get Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
They're gonna get Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna play for a couple years. He'll sit behind Aaron Rodgers just like Jordan Love did, and he'll become the next Jordan Love. He isn't close to Jordan.
I'm going to disagree with that because I think we see this with Anthony Richardson too. I think what everybody's looking for is they want Anthony Richardson to be Anthony Richardson. They want Jalen Milroe to be Jalen Milroe, meaning the best version of themselves because they can't go get 4.3, 4.4. They can't go get 255 pounds anywhere else. They can't go get somebody can throw a ball 70 yards. And so we don't get this skill set every year. So can we bring this in and can we do something and see what develops with it over time? That's my only point in this. Yeah. If I'm a GM, I'm looking at this and I'm going, okay, I've got all these quarterbacks over here that fit the same mold. Then I've got Cam kind of over here, and then I've got Jalen over here. Mm-hmm. How big of a risk do I want to take?
Yeah, all right. So keep that right there because we're going to carry this over because that is a major risk if you see that skill set and it's so appetizing. So we'll keep it going. It's XL Primetime, Okama Beer Company, Monday with our quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
On and off the field, at home, on the road, practice or game day, Hayes Carline covers the Jaguars daily on the all-new 1010XL.com. 1010XL.com.
Everyone seems to be in a time crunch these days. Well, don't forget you can always count on the cold case at Daly's. Always convenient, always cold. Whether it's the king of beers, Natty Light, Stella, or Cigar City, or Goose Island or Bud Light Seltzer, dash into Daly's and grab one to go.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
Anytime you've got major plumbing problems, and even the minor ones, there's several potential causes, and they usually can't be easily detected. So don't guess at a solution. Hire Roland Reese Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, maybe even your kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. Don't let divorce take more than it has to.
Offices in Jacksonville. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's attorneys. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Rick Julius, licensed in Pennsylvania only. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
You know the players, so you pick them.
How many majors can the guy win?
It's fantasy golf at the Masters. Win $1,000 of jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Enter at 1010XL.com.
Teed up by Pella Windows and Doors.
Do you know someone looking for a fun and rewarding summer job?
Join the YMCA team, gain valuable experience, and make a difference in kids' lives. Turn your passion for this community into a fulfilling career at the First Coast YMCA. Now hiring camp counselors, lifeguards, child care leaders, and membership experience team. Every single person on the dedicated YMCA staff plays a role in making the Y a welcoming and vital resource for our community. Find your career at the Y at fcymca.org.
Equal opportunity employer.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Man, don't let your yard be torn up by that heavy aeration machine this spring. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to learn more about our granular aeration. Broadcast throughout the tree and shrubs to break up that compacted soil. Visit RoyalPestServices.com.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Spring and summer registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball. Plus, all new girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. I-9 Sports with fields and gyms all over 3 counties. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find a sport to play. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. There was a time when if you handed me a bread basket at a restaurant, you better watch your fingers. Pizza, pasta, bread. Carbs were absolutely my weakness. I'd be lying if I said they didn't have me hooked. Then Awaken 180 came into my life. I've been down every diet road there is, but this is different. It's not just another diet. It's a total reset of how you see food. You know that carb craving that we all accepted as normal? That's gone for me now. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the good stuff, but here's the difference. I no longer feel like I need them. So when the server puts that bread basket on the table, I just smile, sit back, and say, nah, I'm good. That feeling of control is all thanks to Awaken 180. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180. Hacker lost more than 110. Baloo is on his way, and you can lose whatever you want to lose. It doesn't matter what your goal weight is. Awaken 180 weight loss will get you there quickly and safely. It's a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180 has changed my life, and it will change yours too. Give them a call at 844-346-1800 or go to awaken180weightloss.com. Trust me, you'll thank yourself.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mocama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
South 8th Street, you'll find the beautiful tap room. You'll find the Wildlight location also hopping. Drop on by. You can log on mocama.com and find out the story about one of the local breweries right here on the First Coast up in beautiful Fernandina. Look for them on the shelves at Total, ABC, and I was happy to scoop some off the shelf at Publix the other day. All right, so we're talking quarterbacks with our quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. We were going through, surprisingly, I'm looking at the PFF rankings, and I'm still shocked at the way they ranked them, including Curtis Rourke from Indiana. One of our texters asked about him. You don't know a whole heck of a lot about him, but he's the 11th quarterback when it comes to the guys that are being ranked right now coming into the draft. All right, so go back to the Jalen Milroe equation. So I always say to the guys, quarterback love make you crazy. But you're saying stylistically that guy that can move and take off and look like, a pinball, they'll make you crazy too as far as evaluators go.
No question. Because, I mean, can y'all name that guy next year?
Mm-hmm. No.
You know what I mean? Like it's just you.
Who is it going to be?
Yeah, it's like you can get yourself in this headspace of, man. Yeah, I know it's late in the first, early in the second. Could be Taylon Green. Taylon's not as big.
No,
I like Taylon a lot, but he's not as big. And you could get yourself in that headspace of, hey, let's take a shot.
Wait, it could be Lenore Sellers.
That's actually a good one. That's actually a really good one.
Make you crazy.
But my point is, like, the other stylistically comes around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be generationally good. There's something different about guys like Caleb. There's something different about guys like Anthony. There's the rest of them you can kind of, I may be able to get maybe not quite as good of a version, but I can get a version of that next year.
I still feel like Jaden Daniels changed the game a little bit. In other words, a quarterback coach can get a hold of you. He can work on your accuracy. But if you have those moves, those quantifiable quick.
Jaden's just a ball player.
Jaden, he was a good thrower at Arizona State too. So I mean, and that's kind of my thing with Jalen. I don't think he's a natural thrower.
Oh, I agree. 100. Like, I'm not disagreeing on anything y'all are saying. I'm just saying I could see somebody.
You can see why someone would fall in love with it.
Right. I could see that. I mean, last year's class, the reality of this thing is, there were 6 picks in the first, 11, 12, whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
They all worked.
Yeah, right now.
They all worked.
They have.
Every single one of those teams is glad that they picked a quarterback in the first 12 picks. Now, does that roll over this year? I don't think it does, but maybe. I don't know.
Yes. Because the 21 draft class, they all failed.
Yeah. But one.
Well, he's still close to failing, bro.
I'm just saying he's still on the same team is all I'm saying.
Right.
You're going to call him a fail?
No, I'm saying he's close.
Sure.
I mean, this is it. This year's big for him. Is
He's
it
my
not?
Trevor?
Yeah.
He hasn't failed.
Yeah.
He hasn't failed.
If they go 4-13 this year, and then what?
See, Matt has that beautiful journalistic way of him. He'll name him generational.
You're damn right I do. Yes, I do. Okay.
All right, go ahead, Leon.
Well, back to Melrose now. If you're an OC for an NFL team, I mean, how would you work with Melrose? Would you build an offense towards his strength and kind of keep away from what he doesn't do well?
See that's the problem is because you wouldn't do that because you probably wouldn't have a second Milroe as his backup,
right,
or as the starter or whatever it is, right? See, it's almost like you almost have to have 2 different style of offenses, which is not rare in the NFL. You'll see, I don't know, pick your favorite mobile quarterback, whoever it is, and then look at his backup. And a lot of times it's not the same stylistically.
Like they didn't sign somebody to back up Lamar exactly.
Right. But to answer the question directly, I think with Jalen, it's that QB run game is you can run QB power. You can run QB sweep. He's a legit 4-3 guy. He's not an accurate thrower of the ball, but he's got an arm. He can spin it if the guy's open. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not condoning the pick, but you definitely could run a different type of offense with him.
Okay.
Like, let me throw this out there. What if he's around – who's Baltimore's backup?
I don't even know right now.
What about the Steelers?
Yeah, but the Steelers are another one. See how like a defensive team that just likes to keep the quarterback on the field? Or
that's the team. That's the team who's expected.
Yeah,
to pick him.
yeah. I mean that's another one. But my point is like even Baltimore, you sit there and you look and go, wait a second, it's hard for us to find somebody that can do anything in the run game that Lamar does. Maybe this guy can.
You know what?
Maybe he's a heck of a back.
Imagine being that franchise and having the ability to take a premium pick and say, screw it, let's take a backup quarterback.
Well, and I'm saying second or third, right? I'm not saying they would do that in the first.
All right, this makes
I'm
me
just
laugh.
giving an example of how.
But this does make me laugh. Baltimore just went out and signed Cooper Rush as Lamar's backup.
Never mind.
That ain't the same guy.
No, but again, that's what we were saying. Like people will do that. I don't. I think my personal opinion is he will go somewhere late in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal.
It's going to be a long Friday for him then at that draft.
Yeah,
long Friday sitting there.
Is he going to sit there Thursday too?
Yeah, well, he's been invited.
And so they're bringing him for the first round.
Yes.
Wow.
That's kind of the whole thing. Is usually when you do that, you expect him to be a first-round pick or early second-rounder.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to bring the family. He's going to be able to walk the red carpet. He's going to be staying downtown.
Bro,
I think that's great.
That's not New York City.
No, it's not
Green Bay.
Oh, well, maybe not.
I think that's
there isn't red carpet in Green Bay.
No, there's not. In fact, it might be cold as hell.
Leon's whole face just changed.
That tells you how old I am. So it's in Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
But not so much. They're still going to probably have red carpet in Green Bay. They're still going to.
Could have snow on it.
It'll be bright lights and it'll be awesome.
bright lights.
Throw a plate of cheese curds down there for him.
Yeah, probably will.
But the one thing that the NFL cameras, NFL Network, and ESPN, they don't mind. They like to see a little heartbreak on their television.
Of course, it's drama.
They love it.
Sports entertainment.
Yeah.
They don't care about the kid. It's just ratings, baby.
Yeah,
and good for him for going.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an experience, man.
Why
Good
not?
for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Soak it up.
Absolutely.
If you can.
Yeah.
All right. So right now, what do you got cooking as far as tournaments? All
Man, we're all over the place right now. We got, guys are back with their NFL teams for the most part. All of our college guys are back, so we get a little bit of a break. I got some travel coming up, but yeah, then we hit the summer, and it is an absolute sprint until late July when everybody leaves again.
And I always wanted to ask you, the kids that you train, they got drafted 2 weeks before the draft. What advice do you give them 2 weeks before the draft?
Play golf, get out of the house, don't think about it.
No gas mask videos.
Don't get in trouble. Yeah, don't get in trouble. But you know what? I mean, honestly, these days, you don't really hear about quarterbacks getting in any trouble. It takes a certain type of guy to play now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta understand what's at risk. But the pressure of these 2 weeks, as you know, and very few people know, it's not like, am I going to get picked? It's where the heck am I going to live?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen?
Everyone wants to be part of the celebration with you because they know what's coming.
Yeah, because listen, after your last game as a senior, everything's structured. You got the All-Star game, then you got the combine, then you got the pro day, then you got the training, and then you got a couple of weeks before the draft, and now you ain't got nothing to do
for the first time.
For the first time, because you've had classes, you've had all this training going on. Now you're 2 weeks from the draft. I'm just saying. Yeah. I just tell cats, listen, whatever you were doing while you were training, keep doing it.
Yeah, and you're like that old bloodhound, old red, just itching to have a little fun.
We don't have anybody staying here for the draft. Last couple of years, we have had guys just train our way through it, and I would try to book golf as much as I could the week of the draft.
Keep them busy.
Yeah, just try to keep them busy, man, and keep them off Zillow.
And keep the fellas around them.
Looking at every single NFL city real estate.
Yeah. Do not let them have idle time by themselves because you never know what could happen. All right, that is the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson. Thanks, bro.
All right.
Tell your son.
Go Gators. Man.
Yeah, there you go. Gators got that Ramba Jamma. I know that's what he's singing right now. It's XL Primetime. We come back. Something absolutely historic took place last night with also the same kind of timing as the guy that he just passed. So we'll get into that coming up before we are done on XL Primetime.
Here come the Gators.
Slayton fires for three. Good.
This is the NCAA National Championship game.
Bang! Got it off the catch.
Pre-game coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern on your home for Florida basketball. 1010XL. We're giving away free AC inspections to our wonderful customers who now call and schedule. But you must act today. A deal this good won't last forever. Call 904-862-6769. DuckDuckAC.com. Any required repairs are not included in the inspection. 1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Abdul Carter would be a tremendous pick if he falls to the Jaguars at 5. The former Nittany Lion got pressure on 18.5% of his pass rushes last season, helping him register 12 sacks and 23.5 tackles for loss. His ability to play off the ball and off the edge will draw comparisons to Micah Parsons, and that would be a welcome addition to the teal and black arsenal already on the edge that features Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Franchi here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jack rolling.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 7, 1963, at the age of 23, Jack Nicklaus won the Masters tournament, becoming the youngest golfer to do so with a 3-foot par putt on the final hole.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer.
Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops, receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried EasyCater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Attention Florida homeowners, for 1 month only. Save big with Renewal by Anderson. Get $300 off every window and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, call now and ask about our brand new Ensemble entry door system. But hurry, this limited time offer won't last. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com today to schedule your free design consultation. That's bestwindowsflorida.com. Renewal by Anderson, your trusted window and door experts. Superior products, exceptional service. License number CGC 1527613.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
If your IT, data security, and your office copiers are operating perfectly, you must have hired ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, as your technology partner.
Advanced Business Solutions.
Beat the spring cleaning rush with big savings and priority booking by calling our heroes at Zero Res. This month, get Zero Resified from Jacksonville's #1 carpet cleaner. You'll get 25% off all cleaning services. That's right, 25% off. Check out 8,000 raving customer reviews if you don't believe me online. Call them, 904-287-5727, or visit their website, ZeroResJacksonville.com. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey man, what's that noise?
Do you hear it too? You can hear it, right?
Yeah, it's your air conditioner. It's like a grinding or a rattling.
And it's getting on your nerves, right? Like it's eating at your brain and you can't think straight, but it just keeps grinding and squeaking and taunting and nagging. You're not good enough. You're a failure. Why can't you be more like your sister, the lawyer?
Yeah, I don't hear that last part so much.
Yeah, but it's not cool, right, Jason?
It could definitely be cooler. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we can totally repair whatever that noise is and get your AC working smoothly and silently. We fix these things all the time.
So I won't be a failure?
Life should be enjoyed. If some irritating, broken air conditioner is making you crazy, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Who lit it up last night? Brought to you by American-Electrical.com.
For Dylan Strome, he and Chikrin will team up and glide through center. Right side to Wilson. Centered up. Ovechkin has it. He scores! He scores! Alex Ovechkin scores 895! There's a new goal-scoring champion, and his name is Alexander Ovechkin!
What else can you say? He passed the great one, Wayne Gretzky, and he scored his to move past Wayne Gretzky. This is kind of the really crazy number about it. But as he created the new record, 895 goals, did it in the exact same number of games that Wayne Gretzky did when he had 894. That really is crazy, isn't it?
Legitimizes even more.
Yeah, it really does, because we've seen some records. Hank Aaron played for 22 years, all that stuff, versus the amount of time that Babe Ruth played and when he passed him, so on and so forth. But that, just on the number alone, was really, really cool. So, yeah, safe to say we don't talk a lot of hockey. You'll hear a little bit more about this from Rick Ballou later. But when you pass Wayne Gretzky, you've done some work. And now Alex Ovechkin has passed him as the greatest goal scorer in NHL.
By the way, drafted
history.
by the Caps in 2004, they won them all along.
Yeah.
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 Unlike Gretzky, who, eventually went to the Kings.
Yeah, but he was with Montreal forever.
He was.
And then
Edmonton.
finally, Edmonton. Excuse me, Edmonton. He was an Oiler, and then they did the landmark deal, the huge deal. But yeah, with the Caps the whole time for Ovechkin. He did light it up last night. American Electrical, they can light up your world, residential or commercial dwelling. Make sure you find out what they can do in terms of automation, lighting, everything, security generators, you name it, they can do it. American-electrical.com. Yeah.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
My takeaway is maybe tonight is the night that my bracket gets busted. Because I picked the Florida Gators to win it all. I legitimately had them playing Duke in the final.
Who was your team starting out? What was that team? The group of 5 team you had?
High Point, baby.
Right, High Point.
High Point is long gone. They'll be watching the game tonight as well.
The Panthers of High Point.
Yes, the Panthers of High Point. Listen, my only concern with the Gators is that watching this team, watching Houston play against Duke, a young Duke team, Houston is some grown amen.
Grown amen.
Yeah. Some grown amen. They defend well. They rebound well. They shoot well. I mean, you can't listen. Florida can't be tiptoeing in the dark like they've been doing the last couple of games. They got to play from start to finish in this game if they got a chance.
They got some old grown men too, though.
Okay,
they do. I mean,
who's older?
Richard and Elijah Martin, and those are. I mean, heck, Walter Clayton. Those guys are all deep into your. No, they're not. They're not. But they're not that much younger either.
No,
I mean, my point is they've played a lot of games in college basketball. Those guys.
Yeah.
So that that will clearly help them. My takeaway is the grade 8, and phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal. Ovi. Not only that, you said he lit it up. He also lit it up post game when he's going into the party.
Double-fisted guzzler.
Hang on, he's going to the party. Walks through the doors, and he has I guess someone who always takes care of him as he walks through the door at this place.
And that scores.
Walks up to him with 2 long necks.
Yeah.
He grabs him and starts getting after it.
2-fisted.
But it was so smooth. Like, it was
So
nothing.
smooth.
Like, he obviously is always a double beers guy, like at
of
every
course.
event.
Right.
I love that.
I would have thought since he's, Ruski, that it would have been a couple Stolies. Like
but no.
bottles or something.
Yeah, he wants some, I guess, some hops and barley.
That
in
might
his
be
world.
later in the night.
Yeah, exactly. Start slow, finish strong. Because you've seen some
Liquor
of those.
after beer, have no fear, right?
How the Russians party, that's for sure. Unbelievable. That is a good rule, okay? Just don't forget that one, okay?
I threw that in there just for you because I knew you were
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
of course.
Just remember, beer on whiskey, mighty risky. Whiskey on beer, have no fear.
Well, here's the thing. You know how I like to do my research and everything like that. I scroll. I scroll the web. And I saw this scientist who had
Scrolled the web.
Yeah,
Sounds like a 75-year-old man.
Why you gotta hurt his story, man? Come on, man.
I scrolled the web. All right. So this scientist takes a dropping of a bacteria and he puts it on the little thing underneath the microscope.
I saw that.
And then he takes a little swig of whiskey and he puts it on top of the bacteria, kills the bacteria instantly. So just letting you know.
That's science, baby.
That good whiskey.
We could have got rid of COVID.
Exactly. If only they said during COVID, just get you a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, forget about masks. Just carry around
$800
a
when you got
handle.
like a gunshot or something. They're pouring whiskey right on
I'm
that.
just telling you, bro. That's all you needed.
Yeah, back in the day.
There was nothing like the wild, wild west. You get bit by a rattlesnake and someone would suck the poison right out of you and then pour whiskey right in there.
There you go.
And then cover it
I
up.
thought you were going to say they were going to suck the whiskey out and then take a shot after.
No, they suck the poison
Man, this proves that whiskey's the cure-all.
Yeah. Well, the old man.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. One of the Menorcans in St. Augustine, I think his Butch was his nickname. Anyway, every single morning he would get up and he would just do a shot. And he lived to be like 83
It's like your aunts on the porch. They were drinking vodka, right?
They wouldn't do it in the morning. They do it at 4:30 in the afternoon.
But they were drinking vodka every day,
A little
right?
more reasonable, But he would do it every morning, and he said it got his day started, stayed as healthy as no trips to the hospital, no trips to the emergency room. It lived a great life, all that kind of stuff. And then, yes, of course, the 99-year-old Ponce sisters, they enjoyed life.
So what you're saying is we should go home and break out the Maker's Mark from the cabinet and take a shot every morning.
Yeah, just one slug before the game tonight.
Before work every morning, take a shot, folks.
You remember how you were complaining about your throat and everything?
With the pollen.
Get you a glass. Gentleman's cube.
You might be right with that, actually.
No, I think Matt's problem is he doesn't usually drink, but he drank this weekend, and now, it's affecting him.
It's not true, JJ.
Okay.
That's not true.
But
just noticing things, that's all I'm doing.
The classic hottie toddy is you put it on the stovetop and you just bring a little, you can choose whatever you want, but maybe just a little apple cider and some lemon, and then just a little shot of whiskey in there. Just let it come together. Some honey. Just kind of bring it all together.
No doubt in my mind you've done that multiple times.
Good little strange brew. And then just sip on that bad boy. That'll help.
Leon's got something for me. What is it? The Mullen drops?
Yeah, like Dan Mullen, but without the E.
Dan Mullen sucks.
Yeah, you just
he does, but this doesn't.
You go to they're not a sponsor, so I'm not gonna mention their name, but the health food spot.
Right.
Go there and ask one of the attendants, hey, listen, you got these Mullen drops. All you do is you take a couple of drops, put it in some water, and drink it. Clears up your lungs.
Bro, I'm going there right now. Seriously.
Yeah.
So you can do this as many times you want during the day, or just once?
Yeah. You just do it once. Do it in the morning. Do it at night before you go to bed.
I don't know why I still have a damn Mullen drop.
Handy, keep it.
Why is he not back?
He's at UNLV.
Yeah, he's at UNLV.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He walked back into college football.
Good.
With the running ranks. He might have been thinking he could have landed in just a slightly higher spot.
They'll win 27 games in 3 years or something. He'll get another job somewhere.
Yeah, but he has overcome the idea of, hey, you're not a very good recruiter. As long as he goes somewhere where there's an NIL check to be written, then he can do his thing. He's a good coach, even though you go back and look at the last handful of
X's and O's. I think he's a terrific X's and O's.
Yes, but he just
I don't know as much
not,
about manager.
Yeah, I don't think he handled that part of it very well down the stretch.
Right.
In Gainesville, did not coach with fire, enthusiasm. It's almost like what Doug Peterson went through here. Doug Peterson, highly regarded, and then everything just deteriorated underneath him towards the end, which is just a damn shame. But Dan Mullen took Mississippi State to heights they'd never seen before.
Number one in the country. First ever college football playoff ball. They were number one.
Right. And then took the McElwain-led Gators at least back to New Year's Day, back-to-back years.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. And things were looking great. And then he just completely said, you know what?
And they dressed up as Darth Vader and tried to start a fight in midfield against Missouri.
He was never the same after
Tried to fill the swamp during the pandemic. Other than that.
That's what happens.
Now,
if
you're the current Gator head coach.
Got him on probation for the first time in 30 years. Other than that.
I'm not sure I'm following.
AKA Billy Napier.
Yeah.
Would you be happy? What are you cheering for tonight? Honestly. Do you want this guy who's the basketball coach to come in and win the Natty pretty much right away?
Well, does
that make you look terrible, or does that almost give you more time?
I think you could look at it.
Forgetting about you.
You could look at it now eyes are on him instead of on me, so that could be a positive. But it's still
a terrible way to look at it.
But you don't think Billy Napier's thinking that?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know,
because I do think he in his great way of delivering his personality, he'll tell you how excited he is for Todd Golden and the basketball program to achieve something as great as this.
But what does he really feel?
He's thinking, holy crap, I have got to win now, because if this turns into a basketball school,
I don't think
they're really
you're right.
running my behind
I think what he thinks, and you'll, once I say that, you're going to go, yeah, he probably does. I think what he thinks is, look, this is a process, and it's not, I can't turn this thing around in 3 years or 2 years. Y'all got to wait. Y'all got to give me time. That's what he thinks.
Well,
he honestly thinks what he's doing right now is the best job that can be done.
He believes what he believes.
Yeah, of course he does.
But let's see his year 3 turn into what this guy's year 3 was, okay?
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But that's what he thinks. And if something happens and DJ Lagway can't play this year, he's probably thinking the same thing. Hey, when he's healthy, then what? Then wait and see what we can do.
Well, he killed all his momentum. I mean, that nice little stretch run he had down the stretch in the bowl game, that evaporated. It's done.
It has.
He didn't hire an OC.
It's done.
Didn't hire an OC.
Yeah.
Hired a 31-year-old as his defensive coordinator.
Well, yeah, all the momentum. We'll see what it looks like, obviously, when he gets back to where they're coaching, they're on the grass and all that kind of stuff. But that's a hell of a schedule. And he didn't do some of the things that you expected him to do. And he doesn't have his star quarterback on the field in spring. That's nuts.
And then Vegas's win total over-unders came out, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. 6.5.
Yeah,
man.
6.5.
They're not believers.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was 5.5 last year, and they won 8. So
yeah,
that's what he's thinking right now.
You gonna lay a bet down?
No.
I love it. No. I love it. I know who will take that action right now, Ball.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. Near your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
So right now, the embedded instructor could give a rat about what Billy does in football season because it's hoop season, baby. There's a natty to be had tonight.
40 more minutes again to watch one of the funnest teams in any sport that I've ever fallen in love with. I mean, this team has been, you couldn't ask for anything more. Yeah. And if Houston gets it done tonight, I'll tip my hat to them. But it's not going to take away anything from this season. And I like Florida tonight. I think Florida wins by 7. But but regardless, just what an unbelievable run. It's been so much fun. It certainly helped that the SEC was so loaded. Mm-hmm. Matt, you went through the recent victories that they've had. It's been a spectacular year. Keep in mind, before this season, they had only played in 22 games ever where they were in the top 10 and the opponent was in the top 10. 22 top 10 matchups ever. Yeah. They're 7-2 this season.
So what you're saying adds up to what Matt said, that's also baking in how good the SEC has been this year. That's an incredible number. The other thing, Hayes, is that this is a two-year run of fun. Even though last year they were eliminated in the first round against Colorado, hand-locked in, nasty leg injury definitely hurt them. But this has been 2 unbelievable years for him and for Walton.
It's been incredible to watch the build because you're right. Last year's team with that great offense was a lot of fun. They just couldn't get stops, and they did have the unfortunate injury to Micah late in the year. But this year he was able to improve them defensively. And, they're just so tough, and they just wear teams down. It's just hard. They don't ask their bigs to play a lot of minutes, so that's a big key tonight. In terms of that, can they wear Houston down? And if Florida is even with 4 minutes left, when you get to that final media timeout, you have to love their chances. That's not to take anything away from the Cougars, who obviously, that was one of the best comebacks that we've ever seen. I think it was more a Duke choke job than it was Houston taking the game. But regardless, Houston got it done. They're incredibly tough. But I like if the game is tied with 4 minutes left, I think Florida has an outstanding chance to win a 3rd national championship.
All right,
all that coming up. Frank's going to join us right out of the gate. He's in San Antonio. So we'll have Frank Frangie in the first segment weighing in. If you don't get a chance to hear that, if you're getting ready to pop out of your car or something, we're going to replay Frank at 5:20. And then Chris Harry, who covers the Gators for the university, will also join us from San Antonio at 4:20. So lots of Gators obviously coming up as this turns in. The Frangie Show kind of turns into a impromptu 2-hour
Gator
kickoff. Yeah,
this is brand new for the Frangie Show. A Gator Love Fest.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. All right. Hey, listen, this is a perfect day to
This is rare air.
Yeah,
the Love Fest for the Gators on the Frangie Show.
All right. But anyway, outstanding. JJ, real quick before we go. All right, we've got our Searcy Swiss 16 that we open back up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's the 2012 Alabama.
2012 Alabama against Nebraska 1995.
All right, we're going to have that back tomorrow. But JJ, buddy, our guy, okay, he's part of XL Primetime
Friend
now.
of the show, Tim.
Yeah, and Tim is now in line to take a $50 bet at Hard Rock and turn it into $16,000. How does he feel right now?
Well, this was the text I got. I'll edit it a little bit. Saturday night after the game, he says, I thought about hedging, but I took a blood sample. Doc said no wussy in me.
Yeah.
And we'll end it on that.
So he's not hedging.
Unbelievable. All right, we'll see whether he can cash 16 Gur, courtesy of Hard Rock, and him picking the Gators to win the national championship. Unbelievable. All right, we're done. Mocama Beer Company, thanks to them. They always bring you Mondays. We appreciate it, but every day you can enjoy coffee. Tuesday through Sunday, enjoy great craft in their tap room in Fernandina or over in Wildlight. Check them out, mocama.com. Big Sirs, Maddie, Joe C, and JJ. Enjoy tonight's Natty.